Department of Biochemistry and Nutrition, Policies and Guidelines, Freshman Orientation. Biochemistry and Nutrition Team, Dr. Dolores Villiran, Chairman. The faculty members, Dr. Remedios Santos, Dr. Joel Habate, Dr. Rebecca Villanueva, Dr. Ana Belen Alenzuela, Dr. Marian Bringas, Dr. Dennis Bravo, Dr. Hena Alcantara, Dr. May Gabaldon, and Dr. Genaro Wilfred Assis. Our staff members, Ms. Rachel Cruz, Medical Technologist, and Ms. Kathleen Banyaga, Secretary. Class schedule. Each big section is divided into 2 subsections. A subsection is further divided into 10 groups, with each group consisting of 5 to 6 students arranged in alphabetical sequence. Such groupings will be permanent for the rest of the semester. It is strongly advised that each group elects its leader and assistant leader to coordinate all activities in the laboratory and conferences, that is, to assign reporters, distribute workload, and act as spokesman for the group. Lecture hours is 2 hours per week. Lab and conference hours, 4 per week. Skills, 2 hours per week. The schedule for one semester is usually displayed in the department's bulletin board. For any unannounced holidays, such as your typhoons, schedules generally remain unchanged and missed classes are made up by the involved sections upon arrangement by the concerned lecturer or proctor. Changes in schedule are posted accordingly. If none is posted, it is understood that whatever is scheduled for the day will remain as is. Class attendance. Be prompt in attending classes. Student arrival more than 15 minutes after class starts is late. Student arriving more than 30 minutes after class starts is absent. For faculty members who will be coming later than expected, especially during emergency cases, faculty should notify the department secretary and class coordinator. If the faculty does not arrive within 30 minutes without notification, class may ask permission to be dismissed but should notify the secretary first. The schedule for the semester is posted in the department bulletin board at UG12 entrance. For any unannounced holidays, cancellation of classes, our schedules generally remain unchanged and missed classes are made up by the involved sections upon arrangement by the concerned lecturer or proctor. Usually, our lectures are not rescheduled, and students are expected to learn the topic on their own. Conference sessions, however, are rescheduled. They give chance for the group assigned to deliver the report and have the reporting grade. Changes in schedule are posted accordingly. If none is posted, it is understood that whatever is scheduled for the day will remain as is. For clarifications in schedule, always consult any faculty member of the department, your proctor, the department secretary, or our laboratory technicians. Lectures. Lectures are delivered by an assigned faculty member of the Department of Biochemistry and Nutrition. Occasional recitations are made during lectures. Hence, it is advised that students should read beforehand the lecture topic. Didactic lectures are 2 hours per week, and they only discuss the vital topics. A set of learning objectives are provided for each lecture topic. The learning objectives shall give the student direction as to what he is expected to accomplish at the end of each topic. The learning objectives can also be used by the students to evaluate and monitor his own progress in learning the subject matter. These objectives are the basis for the content of lecture and construction of examination questions utilized by the faculty. The student is expected to familiarize himself with the lecture topic by reading ahead, using the suggested textbooks. Since lectures are relatively short in relation to the topic, the lecture will cover only the basic principles of the lecture topic. It is expected that the student will be responsible to study all the other topics covered in the learning objectives given by the department. The prescribed national textbook is Review of Biochemistry by Harper, 29th edition or 30th edition, and Biochemistry Illustrated Review, Lippincott, 6th edition. However, it is still advisable for the student to do additional readings from standard textbooks such as Biochemistry by Stryer, Devlin, and others. Learning objective purposes. Number 1, it gives the student a guide as to what he is expected to accomplish at the end of each topic. Second, it is used to evaluate and monitor his own progress in learning the subject matter. And third, it is the basic of the faculty for exam, question construction, and content of lecture. Lectures are short in relation to the topic, and your lecturer will cover only the basic principles of the lecture topic. Therefore, the student should be responsible to study all the other topics covered in the learning objectives given by the department. Conferences. Topics for conferences include discussion of laboratory experiment, clinical biochemical correlation of diseases, case discussions, and poster and journal presentations. Each topic is assigned to a group at the start of each semester, and all members of the group are expected to work together in making the report for presentation in terms of literature search, preparation of audiovisual aids, and oral presentation. Guidelines and guide questions are provided for each topic. A group is made to report twice in a semester. The guide questions serve only to provide the basic and minimum requirements for discussion, but not necessarily limit the scope of such discussions. Preparations need not be elaborate, but the group should make sure that the class understands the topic being discussed. Active participation from the audience is encouraged and will be given corresponding points. This learning strategy is a modification of problem-based learning, or PBL. It is an educational strategy in which learning occurs by actively solving problems rather than passively absorbing information. This particularly applies to the reporting group. Here, the students learn to use the process of independent learning and transfer such learning to the rest of the class. Mastery of the process is essential for the effective continuing self-education. An essential part of this strategy is that the students learn how to use the information. Topics for conference are seen in the table of contents of your manual. In page 2 of the Biochemistry Manual, groups are assigned for reporting twice in a semester, and on the second round, please take note that journal discussion and poster presentation accompany each topic, and therefore, each group from groups 1 to 10 must submit 5 journals for approval weeks before their scheduled report. For each conference session, a maximum of 3 to 4 members are assigned for oral reporting. The rest of the members will be resource persons and can be called on anytime during the open forum or even during the course of presentation. Presentations include AVPs with thorough and in-depth research and analysis of the subject matter. Bioanimations are also encouraged, provided that they should be explained and interpreted by the reporter. The group presentation should not last more than 1 hour per topic. Therefore, only 15 minutes is given to each reporter. Open forums, additional comments, discussion, or even quizzes usually follow each presentation. Reporters should deliver their assigned parts spontaneously, and are discouraged to just read their reports without deeper explanation and understanding of the topic assigned. They may glance at their notes from time to time, but not read the entire report. All members of the reporting group should be seated in front. Any member of the group who absents himself during the presentation without a valid excuse will get the grade of 00. First 0 for being absent in that session, second 0 for being a reporter who's not able to deliver his report. Use the 10-minute start session to prepare your audiovisual presentation. The group must set up all needed equipment before the proctor arrives. That is the laptop, the microphone needed, and the projector. Report requirements are as follows. First, a soft copy of the written report in Word format, PowerPoint presentation, and bioanimations must be sent via email to the department and to the proctor assigned for grading a week after the report. That is, all revisions and suggestions done for improvement must be noted in the final report. Second, a hard and printed copy of the report must be submitted to the proctor along with the accomplished conference grading sheet before the start of the report. No hard copy means no grade for written report. To ensure a better and more complete presentation of your report, the group may consult with the assigned faculty proctor a week before the scheduled presentation. The faculty member shall guide the reporting group in formulating a good presentation for conference. Our faculty contact numbers and email addresses are posted in the bulletin board inside the biochemistry office. Please observe proper consultation etiquette. It is ideal to text the faculty member first and ask permission before doing a phone call. However, it is still better to consult personally in the office if time permits. The conference report grading sheet is a form that must be secured from the department and submitted to the proctor with the reporter's name before the start of every report. After entry of grades by the proctor, the student shall be given the student copy for filing and for future grade reference. Criteria for conference would be manner of delivery, 15 points, mastery of subject matter, 30 points, content of report, 30 points, use of audio-visual aids, 20 points, and ability to answer questions during class interactions, 5 points, totaling to 100%. Laboratory activities are designed to complement lectures and to initiate students to some of the methodologies and experimental designs which may be used for research purposes. Hence, accuracy and validity of their procedures is essential. Every student is expected to have read and prepared himself for the laboratory experiments assigned for the day. The schedule of the experiments is posted on the bulletin board. In cases where there may be sudden changes in the schedule, adjustments in schedule will be posted accordingly in the bulletin board. There are 4 to 5 sets of laboratory experiments for the semester. Some of them may be divided among the groups. In one laboratory session, 2 or more simultaneous experiments are performed. The group leader, therefore, should divide the work among its members so that the work can be completed in the allotted lab period. Each member of the group should know the entire experiment and not only the part assigned to him. Some experiments require the participation of a human subject. In such cases, the group should designate such subject before the scheduled experiment is to be performed. This is especially crucial if days or hours of preparation is required. The group or subject should then coordinate with the laboratory coordinator or the laboratory technicians for verification of preparations or the need of special reagents as may be necessary. The assigned subject should follow accurately all the prescribed procedure to maintain the accuracy and validity of the experiment. Additional merit points are given to the subjects. Cleanliness should always be observed inside the laboratory as well as inside the lecture and conference rooms. No smoking, no eating is allowed during class hours. Attendance is regularly checked. Quizzes may be given at any time within the laboratory or conference period. Guide questions should be answered during the laboratory period and will be checked by the proctor at the end of the experiment. There is an assigned group to report on the results of each experiment in a conference session. Reporting group is expected to collect and collate all submitted results of all groups in their respective classes. The reporting group should take responsibility at submitting the written reports to the proctor at the end of the laboratory session, provided they secure their group with a copy of all groups' results for reporting on a separate conference session. All groups are expected to submit their written report to the reporting group or coordinator immediately after performing the experiment. Laboratory reports should have the following information: the name of the faculty, proctor, the name of the experiment, date when the experiment was performed, group number and section of the group that performed the experiment, list of group members with signature, name of human subject, objectives of the experiment, materials and method utilized in the experiment that should be presented in flowchart form, the results of the experiment with a complete, simple, and clear statement of what was observed in the experiment. Data should be organized and presented in the graphical form, such as tabulation, figure, depending on the type of information or data that is being communicated. Conclusion, recommendations, and suggestions for modification of the experimental design consistent with the interpretation of the data should be stated. Possible application and relevance of the finding to the practice of medicine should be stated. Attendance will be checked anytime. Accumulated absences that will amount to 20% of the total biochemistry time is the basis for non-credit of the subject. That means failure of biochemistry and nutrition. Biochemistry is allotted 8 hours per week, 120 hours a semester, and 240 hours a year. Therefore, accumulated absences of more than 24 hours a semester, that is around 7 to 8 absences, is already a basis of failure. Examinations. There are a total of 3 major exams scheduled per semester, 2 prelims and 1 final. The schedule is designated by the Dean's Office, and the coverage of such examination is posted in the bulletin board a few days before the scheduled exam. It will cover topics taken before the present major examination and after the last major examination. Final examination for the semester will include all topics from the beginning of the course. Missed major exams may be made up at the end of the semester, usually given together with the final exam. A valid excuse letter is required for one to be allowed to take the makeup exam. Our makeup exams are in essay form and is usually more difficult than regular scheduled exams. Shifting examinations are given at the end of each topic. These are scheduled by the department and are usually given at 12 noon on a designated day following the completion of each topic, usually on Wednesdays. Makeup for missed shifting examinations are not given, and a grade of 0 will be given to any unexcused missed exam. A maximum of 1 excused missed shifting is allowed. A valid excuse letter is required and must be presented to the department as soon as possible. Short quizzes are given anytime, and no makeup is necessary for any missed quizzes. Cheating during examination, whether major or minor, is a ground for the expulsion of a student after a thorough investigation. This is the Scantron sheet used as answer sheet for our major examinations. This form is machine processed. Print the required information in white boxes using ball pen, not pencil. Mark the shaded letter or number using black or blue ball pen. Enter names properly. No corrections in checking will be entertained. The student score page is found at the last page of your manuals. It is advisable that every student monitor and record his grades. Enter your grades as you receive them during the entire course of the semester. Compute based on the percentage allotted for each item. This will help you keep track of your academic performance in the subject. For example, if you get the score of 70% for the first prelims, second prelims, finals, and the average of your shiftings, plus the 70% in QRR and 75% in manual attendance and deportment, multiplying it with the factor of 20, 0.2, 0.2, 0.25, 0.20, 0.10, and 0.05, you will get a score of 14, 14, 17.5, 14, 7, and 3.5. Adding them all together, you get a 70, which is a passing mark. Adding the 2 points bonus, you get a 72, which is already passed. Laboratory Manual and Conference Guide. All students are required to submit a completed laboratory manual and conference guide at the end of each semester. These are collected before the start of the final examination week. The laboratory manual is also checked in the laboratory from time to time. Biodata. Within 2 weeks of the start of classes, each student is required to submit 2 recent ID pictures, size 1 by 1, and a biodata containing personal information. Biodata form should be collected and submitted to the department secretary by the section subject coordinator. Books and references. Official textbook is Harper's Biochemistry by Murray et al., 29th edition. Biochemistry Laboratory Manual and Department Policies and Conference Guide is a subject requirement, therefore a must for every student. This can be availed in the school bookstore. The Department Policies and Conference Guide for Medical Biochemistry book helps the student in the discussion of different topics. This guide also contains all the policies and regulations of the department. So what should we do now? Start reading the lecture topics in advance. Use your independent study time wisely. Use them wisely always. Do not waste your time. Elect one subject coordinator per subsection. Submit the contact number to the department as soon as possible. He or she should not be an officer of the class. Meet your group. Elect your group leader. The first group to report on the second week of class may use the independent study time to prepare their report. Protein metabolism experiment. Influence of high and low protein diet on urine composition. There will be 2 samples that will be collected by the subject of each group, 1 controlled and 1 experimental. Preparation would be around 7 to 9 days. On the first 3 days, subject must eat an ordinary diet prior to collection of the urine. Fluid intake, including soups and beverages, must be equivalent to 6 glasses a day. On the 3rd day, subject must avoid waking up in the morning and then discard the urine. Start collecting the 24-hour urine from 6 a.m. to 6 a.m. on the 4th day. This is your control sample. Subject must add 1 to 2 ml of formaldehyde solution as preservative. On day 5, 6, and 7, subjects must now take the experimental diet, whichever is assigned to the group, whether high or low protein diet. On the 8th day, void and discard the first urine upon waking up and start collecting 24-hour urine from 6 a.m. to the 6 a.m. the next day. This is your experimental sample. Again, add 1 to 2 ml of formaldehyde solution as preservative. Bring both samples, control and experimental, to the laboratory on the day of your experimentation. Measure the total volume, specific gravity, titratable acidity, and total urea nitrogen of the urine samples. Record and compare your results. If there's only 7 days left before the day of experimentation, we can adjust the days and start at day 1 in the collection of the 24-hour control sample, days 3, 4, 5 as experimental diet, whether high or low, and bring the sample on the 7th day. Welcome to the department. We hope you will enjoy the course. Have a productive semester.